You've been disrespected before. Not loudly, not openly, but just enough to make you feel smaller. Someone interrupted you, dismissed your words, spoke to you like your presence didn't matter, and in that moment, you felt the urge to react, to explain yourself, to push back. But here's the hard truth most people never hear. The more emotionally you react, the less respect you command. Modern society teaches you to respond instantly, defend yourself loudly, and prove your worth on the spot. But the Stoics understood something far more powerful centuries ago. Respect is not earned through noise, arguments, or emotional outbursts. It is established through composure, restraint, and control over your own reactions. When you lose control, you hand your power away. When you stay centered, calm, and deliberate, people feel it before you ever say a word. That quiet authority is what shifts the dynamic. In this video, you'll learn 6 Stoic responses that shut down disrespect without anger, without drama, and without losing yourself. These are not tricks, they are disciplines, and once you embody them, people will think twice before ever testing you again. 1. Silence as the first response. Disrespect rarely announces itself loudly. It slips in through tone, through interruption, through that subtle look that says, "I don't take you seriously." In that moment, your nervous system reacts before your mind does. Your chest tightens, your thoughts race. You feel an almost physical urge to respond, to correct, to defend, to make sure they understand who you are. Most people obey that impulse immediately. They speak faster, they explain more, they raise their voice just enough to signal insecurity, and without realizing it, they surrender the very thing they want most: respect. The Stoics understood a hard, psychological truth. When someone disrespects you, they are often testing for emotional leverage. They are probing to see whether they can move you, provoke you, or pull you into their frame. The moment you react emotionally, you confirm that they have access to your inner state. Silence, when chosen consciously, shuts that door completely. This is not the silence of fear. This is not avoidance. This is silence as discipline. When you pause instead of reacting, something powerful happens beneath the surface. The power dynamic shifts. The person who expected a reaction suddenly feels exposed. Their words hang in the air with no response to feed on. Disrespect needs friction to survive. Silence removes the friction. Think about how rare it is today to see someone remain still under pressure. We live in a culture of instant replies, instant outrage, instant justification. Silence feels uncomfortable because it denies the other person emotional confirmation. And that discomfort is precisely what makes it effective. From a Stoic perspective, silence is a form of self-command. Epictetus taught that what disturbs us is not what others say or do, but our judgment about it. When you choose silence, you are declaring, first to yourself, that their behavior does not control your internal state. You are not suppressing emotion, you are mastering it. There is also a deeper layer most people miss. Silence forces observation. While others talk, reveal, and expose their motives, you gather information. You notice patterns. You see whether the disrespect was careless, habitual, or intentional. Speech reacts. Silence reads the room. In real life, this might look deceptively simple. Someone cuts you off mid-sentence. Instead of jumping back in aggressively, you stop. You look at them calmly. You let the pause stretch just long enough to be felt. Often, they rush to fill it, suddenly aware of their own behavior. Other times, they reveal more disrespect. Either way, you gain clarity without losing dignity. This response also protects you internally. Reacting emotionally keeps the incident alive in your body long after it ends. Silence allows the moment to pass through without embedding itself. You're not carrying their disrespect home with you. You're not replaying it in your head at night. You remain intact. Make no mistake, silence is not passive. It is a deliberate withdrawal of energy. You are choosing not to reward disrespect with attention. You are choosing to keep your nervous system steady when others cannot. Over time, this consistency builds a reputation. People sense that provoking you leads nowhere, and people rarely disrespect what they cannot control. The Stoic does not rush to prove worth. The Stoic lets behavior speak for itself. Silence is the first response because it is the strongest filter. It separates those who act unconsciously from those who can meet you with respect. And once you learn to use it, you realize something quietly liberating. You never needed to explain yourself in the first place. 2. Stop explaining yourself. When someone disrespects you, the instinct to explain yourself feels almost automatic. You want to clarify your intentions, justify your choices, or prove that they misunderstood you. It feels reasonable. It feels mature. But beneath that impulse is something far more dangerous: the silent surrender of your authority. Every explanation places you on trial. You may not feel it consciously, but the moment you begin explaining, you accept the premise that their judgment matters. You shift from standing in your position to defend it. And in human psychology, the one who defends is already lower in the hierarchy than the one who judges. Stoicism teaches a brutal clarity here. You are responsible for your actions and your character, not for managing other people's opinions. Marcus Aurelius warned against wasting mental energy trying to control how others perceive you. The need to explain is not strength. It is attached to approval. Disrespect often comes disguised as a question. Why did you do it that way? Don't you think that was a mistake? Who do you think you are to decide that? These are rarely genuine attempts to understand. They are probes, tests, invitations to overexpose yourself. The more detail you provide, the more leverage you hand over. Think back to moments when you explained yourself excessively. You probably noticed something painful afterward. They didn't soften. They didn't suddenly respect you more. In many cases, they pushed further. They interrupted again. They challenged another choice. Explaining did not end the disrespect. It confirmed that it worked. From a Stoic perspective, dignity comes from alignment, not persuasion. When your actions are consistent with your values, you do not need to narrate them. Silence or brevity communicates confidence far more effectively than justification ever could. A calm, simple statement carries weight because it does not beg for agreement. This does not mean becoming cold or evasive. It means choosing precision over performance. A Stoic response is short, grounded, and final. That's my decision. I'm comfortable with that choice. This works for me. No emotional charge, no defensive tone, just clarity. There is also an inner freedom that emerges when you stop explaining. You begin to feel where your boundaries truly are. You notice how often you are speaking just to soothe discomfort, not to communicate truth. When you stop feeding that habit, your nervous system relaxes. You no longer brace for judgment. You expect none. Epictetus taught that freedom is found in wanting only what depends on you. Approval does not. Understanding does not. Respect, paradoxically, follows those who do not chase it. When you stop explaining, you signal that your sense of self is internally anchored. In real situations, this shift is subtle but transformative. A colleague questions your approach in a condescending tone. Instead of launching into a long defense, you respond calmly and briefly. Or you don't respond at all. The room changes. They sense that the usual pressure point is gone. Over time, people learn something about you. You do not perform for validation. You do not negotiate your self-worth. You act, and you stand by your actions. That consistency builds quiet authority no explanation can create. The Stoic does not need to be understood to be grounded. You do not owe everyone access to your reasoning. You owe yourself loyalty to your values. When you stop explaining yourself to those who do not respect you, you reclaim your position. Respect returns not by force, but by presence and consistency. 3. Control your body language. Before your words, long before anyone hears what you say, they feel how you carry yourself. Respect is rarely lost through words alone. It erodes through posture, tension, hurried movements, and nervous energy. The Stoics understood this intuitively. Authority begins in the body, not the mouth. When you feel disrespected, your body reacts instantly. Shoulders tighten, breathing becomes shallow. You lean forward or shrink back without noticing. These signals broadcast inner disturbance before you ever speak. And once that signal is sent, your words are already weakened. Most people try to fix disrespect verbally. They search for the perfect sentence, the sharp comeback, the clever explanation. But the truth is uncomfortable. If your body is communicating insecurity, no words will restore respect. If your body is calm, centered, and grounded, very few words are needed at all. Stoicism teaches mastery of response, not suppression of emotion. Controlling your body language is not about pretending you feel nothing. It is about refusing to let emotion hijack your presence. Marcus Aurelius wrote that calm is strength. That calm is visible before it is spoken. Think about the people you instinctively respect. They move deliberately. They do not rush to fill the silence. Their gestures are minimal. Their eyes are steady. Even when challenged, their body remains composed. This is not arrogance. It is self-command made visible. When someone disrespects you, they are often watching for physical cues more than verbal ones. They want to see if they have unsettled you. If your breathing changes, if your eyes dart, if your posture collapses. These cues tell them whether they can push further. The Stoic response begins with a pause. Not a dramatic pause, a grounded one. 2 seconds. Feet planted, shoulders relaxed, jaw unclenched, a slow breath through the nose. This moment recenters your nervous system and reclaims your physical authority. Eye contact matters here, but not in an aggressive way. You do not stare to intimidate. You look calmly, evenly, without flinching. You're not trying to dominate. You are signaling presence. Many people mistake loudness for strength because they have never experienced quiet certainty. Body language also protects you internally. When your posture is upright and your breathing steady, your mind follows. The body leads the mind out of reaction. This is not a theory. It is practice. Soldiers, athletes, and Stoics have all relied on this principle across centuries. In everyday situations, this shift is subtle but powerful. In a meeting, you are interrupted. Instead of leaning forward or speaking faster, you lean back slightly. You breathe. You wait. Often, the interrupter notices and corrects themselves. Not because you demanded respect, but because your presence required it. There is a deeper emotional layer here. Many people learned early in life to make themselves smaller to avoid conflict, to rush explanations, to over-accommodate. Controlling your body language is a way of rewriting that pattern. You're telling yourself, at a physical level, that you belong in the space you occupy. Epictetus reminded his students that no one can diminish your worth without your consent. That consent is often given silently through posture and tension. When you stand grounded, you withdraw that consent. Over time, this discipline compounds. People sense that you are not easily rattled. They feel that pushing you leads nowhere productive. Respect grows not because you demand it, but because your presence makes disrespect feel out of place. Before you speak, command your body. Before you argue, steady your breath. Words come and go. Presence remains. And presence, when trained, becomes one of the most powerful Stoic tools you can carry into any room. 4. Set boundaries without emotional charge. Most people wait too long to set boundaries. They endure, they tolerate. They tell themselves it's not worth the tension. Then one day, the anger spills out all at once. The boundary arrives wrapped in frustration, sharp words, and emotional heat. And instead of earning respect, it creates resistance. The Stoic approach is different. Boundaries are not weapons. They are signals, and the clearest signals are calm. Disrespect continues not because people don't understand limits, but because limits were never clearly enforced. When boundaries are emotional, they feel negotiable. When boundaries are calm, they feel final. This is a psychological truth most people never learn. Stoicism teaches that you cannot control how others behave, but you can control what you allow. Setting a boundary is not about changing someone. It is about clarifying what happens next if behavior continues. There is no anger required for that clarity. Emotionally charged boundaries often reveal inner conflict. They sound like explanations, defenses, or ultimatums. I don't like it when you talk to me that way because you always do this and it makes me feel. These statements expose vulnerability before authority. They invite debate instead of establishing limits. A Stoic boundary is different in structure and energy. It is short, it is neutral. It names the behavior, not the person, and it does not argue. I'm not okay with that. Let's keep this respectful. That doesn't work for me. No emotional escalation, no story, no justification. This calm delivery does something powerful internally. It aligns your words with your values instead of your emotions. You are not speaking to release tension. You are speaking to uphold order. That alignment is felt immediately, even if nothing changes on the surface. Many people fear that calm boundaries make them seem weak. The opposite is true. Anger suggests loss of control. Calm suggests certainty. When you can state a limit without raising your voice or defending yourself, you communicate self-trust. And self-trust is the foundation of authority. There is also a hidden benefit. Calm boundaries reveal character. Some people adjust immediately. They didn't realize the line was there. Others push harder. They test again. That response gives you information. You learn who respects structure and who resents it. From a Stoic perspective, this information is invaluable. You stop hoping people will change and start observing how they respond to clarity. You no longer personalize disrespect. You treat it as data. In practice, this might look simple but uncomfortable. A family member speaks dismissively. You respond evenly. I'm not continuing this conversation if it stays like this. Then you follow through. No arguing, no proof, just action. The power comes from consistency, not tone. Setting boundaries without emotional charge also protects your inner life. You don't replay the conversation later, wishing you had said it differently. You don't feel ashamed of losing control. You acted in alignment with your principles remembered later. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to do what was right, not what was emotionally satisfying. Boundaries are an expression of that discipline. They are not dramatic moments. They are quiet commitments to self-respect. Over time, people adjust their behavior around you, not because you demanded respect, but because you made disrespect unproductive. That is the Stoic way. Calm limits, clear consequences, no emotional excess. You do not need to be harsh to be firm. You do not need to be loud to be clear. When your boundaries are calm, they become immovable. And once people feel that, respect stops being optional. 5. Withdraw. Attention, not dignity. Disrespect survives on attention. It feeds on reactions, explanations, emotional energy, and repeated engagement. When you keep showing up to be dismissed, you teach others that access to you has no cost. The Stoic response is not to fight harder, but to quietly remove what fuels the behavior while keeping your self-respect intact. Most people misunderstand withdrawal. They confuse it with weakness, avoidance, or defeat. In truth, withdrawal is a strategic decision. You are not running away. You are reallocating your energy toward what is worthy of it. Attention is one of the most valuable currencies you possess, and Stoicism teaches you to spend it intentionally. When someone repeatedly disrespects you, engaging them less is often more powerful than confronting them endlessly. Arguing keeps the connection alive. Explaining keeps the dynamic open. Withdrawal closes the loop. It communicates without drama that disrespect no longer has a stage. This does not mean becoming cold or bitter. It means reducing access, shorter responses, fewer explanations, less emotional availability. You remain civil, but no longer invested. The dignity stays. The excess engagement disappears. And that difference is felt immediately. There is a deep emotional challenge here. Many people were conditioned to believe that distance equals rejection or cruelty. Stoicism reframes this completely. Distance is not punishment, it is protection. You are allowed to step back from what diminishes you without announcing it or justifying it. Epictetus taught that freedom comes from wanting nothing that depends on others. Attention, approval, validation, even basic respect from certain people may not be available. When you accept this, you stop chasing what drains you. You stop placing your worth in spaces that cannot honor it. In real life, withdrawal often begins quietly. You stop initiating contact. You stop volunteering extra effort where it is not reciprocated. You stop explaining yourself to those who have already shown you how little they listen. Nothing dramatic changes at first. Then something subtle shifts. The power imbalance dissolves. Some people react to this by escalating. They provoke. They criticize. They attempt to pull you back into the old dynamic. This is a test. If you return emotionally, the pattern resets. If you remain steady, they learn that access to you requires respect. Others respond differently. They adjust. They soften. They begin to treat you with more care. Not because you demanded it, but because your energy is no longer freely available. Either outcome serves you. One reveals who should stay, the other confirms who should go. Withdrawing attention also restores your inner balance. You reclaim mental space. You stop rehearsing conversations in your head. You feel lighter, calmer, more focused. This clarity allows you to invest in people and pursuits that meet you with mutual respect. Marcus Aurelius wrote about choosing where to place your mind. Attention is the doorway to the mind. When you guard it, you guard your peace. This is not indifference, it is discernment. The Stoic does not chase closure from those who cause the wound. You close the loop by stepping away. You do not announce your exit. You simply stop paying the price of disrespect with your energy. Withdraw attention, not dignity. Keep your posture. Keep your principles. Let your absence teach the lesson your words never could. In choosing this path, you reclaim authorship of your time, your focus, and your emotional life, proving that self-respect grows strongest when attention is given only where it is earned consistently. 6. Become unreactable. To become unreactable is the highest form of Stoic power. It does not mean you feel nothing. It means nothing owns you. When disrespect no longer hooks your emotions, control returns to where it belongs, inside you. Most people live reactively. A tone changes, and their mood follows. A comment lands, and their focus shatters. They spend their days pulled by triggers they did not choose. This is why disrespect feels so destabilizing. It bypasses reason and strikes the nervous system first. Stoicism trains you to interrupt that chain. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lives your freedom. Becoming unreactable means expanding that space until reaction is no longer automatic. You still notice. You still understand. You simply choose differently. This is not about suppressing emotion. Suppression creates pressure, and pressure eventually explodes. Stoic discipline works through observation and acceptance. You notice the surge of irritation, the tightening in the chest, the impulse to respond, and instead of obeying it, you let it pass. When you stop reacting, people feel it immediately. Provocation falls flat. Insults lose their edge. Manipulation has nowhere to attach. The person trying to control the interaction senses something unfamiliar. You cannot be moved, and what cannot be moved cannot be dominated. There is a profound emotional relief here. You stop rehearsing arguments in your head. You stop replaying conversations at night. Your mind becomes quieter because it is no longer dragged outward by every stimulus. Peace is no longer dependent on how others behave. Epictetus taught that the key to tranquility is knowing what belongs to you and what does not. Other people's behavior does not belong to you. Your judgments, values, and responses do. Becoming unreactable is the lived expression of that truth. In practice, this looks calm and almost boring from the outside. Someone attempts to provoke you. You respond evenly, or not at all. Your tone stays level. Your posture stays open. You do not withdraw in fear or attack in anger. You remain present without engaging emotionally. Over time, this changes how people treat you. Some lose interest because they can no longer extract reactions. Others begin to approach you with more respect, sensing your internal stability. Either outcome strengthens your position. Becoming unreactable does not make you passive. It makes you precise. You choose when to speak, when to act, and when to walk away. You are no longer governed by impulse. You are guided by principle. This is the Stoic ideal. Not control over others, but mastery over yourself. When reactions end, dignity remains. And from that steady center, respect arises naturally, without force, without noise, and without ever asking for permission. Practice it daily, especially when it feels hardest, because mastery is built in moments of irritation, not comfort. And each time you choose restraint over impulse, you reinforce an inner command that no insult, challenge, or disrespect can ever truly shake your calm, grounded presence and self-mastery forever within you alone. Today, disrespect loses its power the moment you stop feeding it. Throughout this video, you've learned 6 Stoic responses that do not rely on anger, force, or confrontation, but on something far more enduring: self-mastery. Silence instead of impulse. Clarity instead of explanation. Presence before words. Calm boundaries. Strategic withdrawal. And ultimately, becoming unreactable. None of these responses are about controlling others. They are about reclaiming control over yourself. The Stoics understood that respect is not negotiated at the moment. It is cultivated through consistency of character. When your reactions are disciplined, your presence changes. And when your presence changes, so does the way people treat you. This is not a one-time shift. It is a daily practice. The next time you feel disrespected, pause. Observe your body. Choose restraint over impulse. Let your actions reflect your values instead of your emotions. Each moment you practice this, you strengthen your inner command. Remember, you do not need to be louder to be respected. You need to be centered. Calm authority speaks without force, and dignity never has to announce itself. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this message resonated with you, take it into your daily interactions and see what changes. And if you want to continue building inner strength through Stoic wisdom, stay with the channel. I'll see you in the next video.